Some discussions may touch on legal and tax topics, but nothing contained in these episodes should be considered tax or legal advice. David and I are not accountants nor licensed attorneys. Please consult with your tax and legal professionals for advice on your own unique situations. Reid's fixing what's left of his hair. I love it.
The last few pieces that I pushed forward in order to cover it up.
Mine's standing out too.
Yeah, so is mine, Dawn. I got my hair cut today. The lady was just like, it's getting thin. I was like, yeah, I know. Shut up.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm paying you to cut it, not for your comments. So thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second apartment after hours with Brian McCann, David Dirkschneider, and our special guest Reid Bennett. And David's coming fresh off getting pulled over and getting a ticket, racing to get to this after hours call. So Dirk, give us a little backstory on this ticket here. So
that's not all untrue. So trying to get here in a hurry, and I made a mistake. I told him it was my fault too. He said, "Why do you think I pulled you over?" I said, "Because I went through that light a little bit late." He was like, "Yeah, that's it." And then he came back and he goes, "I would have given you a warning." He goes, "But you were really late, and it was on dash cam." I was like, "Hey, I get it. It happens. I mean, it's what do you do?"
how much is a red light ticket going for now? And oh yeah, that's a good one.
I'm more worried about like the what it does to like my driving record. I don't know. Hopefully, it's not like speeding really fast and gives you points or whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well,
you're not 16.
I tried to tell
you're not
him.
16, man. It doesn't matter anymore.
I know. I tried to tell him, you guys. I was trying to get these important guys to be on here, and he just didn't care.
You should have invited them to be on the podcast, right?
He was actually a pretty cool officer. I mean, he was nice, and he said, "Look, I mean, I don't want to give you a ticket, but I have to." Like, I get you.
Like, why do you actually have to?
That's the route. Is you don't have to. And it was on the dash cam. That doesn't matter. You record stuff on your dash cam all the time, but it's all right. I love cops. I respect them, and
I think it's appropriate to say, look, it's the beginning of the month. It's not quota time, man. What's going on? That always helps. That helps your case.
Yeah, absolutely. They love that.
Right. Guy in front of me was going too.
Why didn't you pull him over?
Right.
Yeah.
So speeding the slowest. That's who did that.
So what's new in the world of apartments this week, boys? What do you got going on?
I think we should talk retrades today.
Let's talk retrades. Yeah, that's always fun. What's the best retrade you've seen lately, Reid?
You got to define best.
Yeah, what do you mean best? I mean
most egregious.
Well, I think I told Dirk this story. It was the first Massimo Con. And so what was that, 2022? October, I think it was October of 2022 or November 1st. And so this was when things were starting to get a little hairy, right towards the end of the interest rate hikes. And so we had a deal. It was a deal it was down in North Carolina. And it was about a $15 million deal, and 14.7 to be exact. And I was in the cab going to Massimo Con, and like right when this guy, the buyer calls me. We're supposed to close that following Thursday. The buyer is calling me saying there's a problem with the lender. He's doing this whole thing, and I'm like waiting for what's going to be coming, right? And right when I get to the Lowe's, he goes, my lender left me at the table. I need $1 million price reduction. And right when he said that, I was swinging my foot out of the door, and I hit, that spot in your knee that you hit. I hit that spot in my knee, and I go, like that, and then the bellhop is coming up from Lowe's, and he's like, "Are you okay, sir? Are you okay, sir?" I'm like, yeah. And then he's on the other line. And he goes, "Look, look, I'll close it. I'll find the money. I'll close it. And he ended up closing it without any kind of a retrade. So I think that's the only way to handle the retrade in any environment is just bang your knee as hard as you can.
What's that book? Never Split the Difference. That's kind of like dropping an anchor, right?
Right.
I mean, it's hard. Like, hey, and he was thinking that, like, oh man, I didn't think I was gonna get that reaction.
Yeah. But so that was the best retrade story I think that I've ever had. But just last week we closed the deal, and the only problem was when you have everybody gets a copy of the contract, and it has the buyer and the seller contact information along with their attorneys. Oftentimes, some buyers and sellers can't help themselves, so they start directly interacting, right? Whether it be on the email chain with everybody, and they're all kind of kicking in early. It's like little things here and there that they're kicking in, but then they leave their signature block up so everybody sees that. This last deal that we just closed, the buyer and the seller both started kind of talking to each other back and forth, and then they would talk to each other offline. And I've never had it happen to me in my entire career. I mean, I've been selling apartment buildings for 24 years. These guys both called me on the line, called me out of the blue.
Oh, wow. That's not very good.
We'll patch in the broker.
Right. Yeah. And they said, they're saying, look, this, that, and the other, we're short. The seller's telling me they're losing money.
I know where this is going.
All this kind of stuff. And then they said, we're 25,000 short. And
so, Mr. Broker, you want to kick in some of your fee?
Well, it was leading that way, but I told the buyer, I said, this isn't a good deal for you. I said,
on the call right there.
We're a $9 million deal. If it's 25,000, if that makes the difference, this is not a good deal for you. I would cancel it.
On the seller,
because I was pissed at my seller for calling me and getting on. That's what I would do. And he goes, no, because he's desperate to sell. I knew that, but I'm not going to put him in that position. He put me in the position.
Yeah, that's a great comeback.
So,
Let me ask you guys this question.
That's a good way to look at it too.
Yeah. Interest rate volatility. If the interest rates move, fair to retrade, not fair to retrade.
So I had a deal that happened, and it was, let's see, what was this? Mid to late last year when rates, really started kind of moving, and it was I think it was around 65 million is what we went into contract, 63, 60, somewhere around there, I can't remember. And we went into contract. They did their due diligence, and everything looked good. Like, we were around on the due diligence, and everything was fine. And they came back, and they said due to some stuff on the property, which that wasn't true, but mainly due to the interest rates, they wanted like an $8 million price reduction. Right, $8 million. That's a lot. I mean, that's over.
Yeah, it's over 10% on a deal.
Yeah. And I told them, I said, guys, if you do that, you're gonna lose this deal. And they kind of got mad at me, like, well, I mean, are you working with us or are you working with them? And I'd explain, well, I'm working with both of you. That's my job, is a transactional broker in Oklahoma. And they pushed and pushed, and I said, I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. They pushed, and the seller, really needed to sell, but when they came back that hard, they essentially said, you know what? We're not budging a dime. They either close at the amount or they don't close. And they would have gone down a couple $1 million. And I mean, he said that even. He goes, you know what? Because we ended up getting on a conference call because we tried a bunch of different stuff. I mean, trying to save this deal and get on a conference call. And the seller flat out said it. Goes, if you'd came back with a $2 or $3 million price reduction, we would have understood that, because I think rates jumped like 50 or 60 basis points. And they said, we get it. But you came back too aggressive, and it just turned us off. So you can either close at the purchase price, or you can lose your earnest money, whatever you want to do. And they didn't close. They ended up giving them their earnest money back because they said it wasn't worth the fight in court. But yeah, I mean, they should. And they said afterwards, they were like, man, we should have listened to you. We wanted that deal. We can't close it at the 65 million, but we wanted it. We would have done it for $2 million less. And I said, I tried to tell you.
You just brought up another great point. How many times have you guys seen earnest money actually forfeited?
I had it a few times, but not that often.
Yeah, I'm at 3.
Probably about the same with me.
Yeah.
Two in my head, the same property, the same seller over a period, like a long period of time. Like we went in a contract one time, and the buyer was just pretty unsophisticated. In fact, I don't think they realized that they were going to lose their earnest money when they canceled it because I know they weren't. Because they had asked me, "Hey, how do we get our earnest money back?" And I was like, I mean, it was a tough conversation, and because for that buyer it was a lot of money. And then I think it was 4 years later we went out to market again with the same property, and another guy lost his earnest money. And I was like, I mean, after we went to sell, I was like, dude, you've made a lot of money just on going into contract with this thing.
Do you guys have it in your agreements that you get to participate in the earnest money?
It's in our standard one, but
Yeah, it always gets struck.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've had
90%
it.
of the time.
I've participated in it twice. We were entitled to it the third time, and we actually, because we were going to relist it, we actually said we're not going to take any, and it was significant. I mean, it was $1 million earnest money, and we were entitled to 50% up to what our commission would have been. So it would have been a $500,000 earnest money hand, and we said, hey, and good clients, I think, kind of like this thing, like we'll walk away from it. We're going to relist this for you. We'll get it done. We're in this together.
Yeah,
I think it's situation dependent. If it genuinely was something that absolutely out of your control and it's in the contract, and it's justified, I'd say I'd want it. Outside of that, I mean, especially if a good client, I mean, I'd rather do the transaction. Just like a good seller goes into a contract not wanting the earnest money. They do it because they want to sell the property. Last thing anybody wants is to keep the earnest money because it means the deal didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you could substantiate that it's attorney's fees, due diligence, depending on that. But yeah, I mean, we've had it where it was released. We had a portfolio where there was 800,000 released.
Well, it was still in escrow.
Yeah.
No. Released to the seller's bank account.
I know, but it was still in escrow.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, I thought you meant the money. Yeah. It was still in escrow, and they kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and the seller said, "I'll give you another 30, but you have to release the earnest money." We're going to close.
That.
We're going to close. No problem. And then it actually was an affordable deal. And they lost. They got their 25-30 flag, which is their previous participation on a HAP deal, where that you have to have that in order for HUD to transfer the HAP. And they lost that, so they couldn't close the deal. Seller's like, you know what? You had me under contract for a year.
And something like that's justified. I mean, you hold it under contract for a year. Market's completely changed within a year. So the deal changes. I mean, that's one where I think it's justified.
Yeah, I've seen it released though, kind of into the negotiation point, like second or third extension. You're like, okay, you've actually got to release it. I'm starting to earn interest on this, right, or something of that nature.
It's usually when a buyer
I've seen it 5 times.
When a buyer really kind of messes up, or they're really asking for something outside of the norm, that's usually when it gets released. I mean,
the other thing is if it's sitting in escrow, you still have to have both sides agree to release it, right? So then there's going to be a battle.
That's why you want it released, is because then there's no question. If you don't close, I've got the money.
Exactly.
And you got to come fight and get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck getting it back once it's already released.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the insurance model, right? Like, what did Warren Buffett say? Like, pay your premiums and then argue to get your money back when you actually have a claim.
Yeah.
So, but how many times have you guys seen sellers have to decide to terminate, and they defaulted, and then they had to pony up legal fees or attorney's fees?
Like if there was a cloud in the title, they couldn't.
Well, I had. I'll give you an example. I had actually early in my career, it was probably one of the larger deals that I had done at that point in my career. It was a $300,000 fee. So as a second year broker, right, $300,000 fee, and we were 2 days away from closing. And then the seller decided he didn't want to sell anymore, and it was actually a large group that was coming in to buy, and they said, well, we have a $400,000 legal fee. And the seller said, we'll pay it. Yeah. So it was
change their mind. I mean, did the market just go up that much?
It's still unclear to this day. It was a medical office deal that I had worked on early on. And I don't know if they knew something about it, but it was just like instruction, like HUDs were circulated, instructions were being wired, right? I'm counting I'm starting to count the new car that I get to buy, right? Like I'm like, this is my first
as a
big
new
deal.
broker, that's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's like, oh man, this is going to be great. This is going to be the big one. Right. And, that learned an important lesson that day is, it doesn't even matter if the deal's closed until that money's actually in the bank account.
That's right.
It's not earned.
I don't know that I've ever had a seller back out, especially blatantly like that. Like, I mean, I've had a deal before or multiple times where, we, and this still sucks too, because it hurts our credibility, but you gotta again, pick your battles depending on the client. But where you take a deal out to market, for example, this one was, it was $34 million, and we took it out to market, and we said our strike price was $34 million. And we got offers at like $35 million. And they said, with interest rates going down, we just thought that, the value would have gone up to like 37 or 38. I mean, we look at this and we're like, man, we would buy this. Why are we selling it? And so we just decided we just don't want to sell it unless someone's willing to pay us like 37 or 38. And the market just wasn't there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. We literally hit the numbers. And then I got buyers mad at me too. Like, well, you said you could deliver this at, X dollars. And it was just a bad deal. But
so I mean, the strike price on your listing agreement was $34 million. You delivered $34 million.
I mean, you could go fight it. No, I mean, like I said.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, just because you have a strike price in a listing agreement and you have it, like they still get ultimate decision on if they're going to go.
It depends on how listing agreement's written. Because my old listing agreement said commission is due upon. I mean, it's some language that basically said if I bring you an offer from a capable buyer at this price, my fee is due. Our listing agreement now doesn't have that same language.
Yeah.
Just because
now it's usually it has to actually close. Usually is what we say.
Because I mean, a lot of
sellers. That'd be crazy because I can deliver any kind of offer.
Yeah.
Well, and there was language in there that said it had to be a qualified buyer, blah blah blah. Yeah. That's subjective.
Right. I mean, like that's something that attorneys will fight over for more legal fees than what the commission is probably actually worth. So.
Sorry, I'm making another drink.
Are you doing the same thing tonight, Dirk? Because it's so old fashioned.
That's all I pretty much drink.
What do you got in the cup tonight, there, Reid?
So this is a red. This is a Malbec. Actually, I have a whole wine fridge of different wines from all over the place, and my wife's and my favorite Malbec is from Costco.
Costco actually has pretty good wine.
$7.99 a bottle.
It's like $2 Chuck almost. I mean, that's it. Just a little bit more upscale.
That's definitely $2 Chuck.
I'm not a huge wine person. I like wine. Don't get me wrong, but to me, like I don't really taste the difference. And again, I'm not a connoisseur. I'm sure somebody's a sommelier, they can. But I mean, between a $12 to $15 bottle versus a $200 bottle, I mean, to me, it's like pretty darn close. If it's a good $12 to $15 bottle, not
I mean, I think a lot of it is like personal preference, right? I mean, so it's like, wine is, and I got into it during COVID, and then I don't drink much anymore. So it's like I have 350 bottles sitting in my basement right now in a wine cellar that, I barely open. And I actually just I got another shipment from a wine club. I'm like, I need to cancel this because they're showing up every few months. And I'm like, I'm not drinking them even fast enough to go.
My wife loves wine.
Yeah.
Put my address down and just send it here.
Dude, I'll send, actually, the funny part is it's a lot of it's like, so they actually the Steelers partnered with a vineyard in California. So it's like real good wine. I've actually had their wine, from that same vineyard, but they've actually like labeled it now, like, for those that are Steeler fans, the Immaculate Reception. So it's Immaculate Red, right? Or like, stuff like, so I was actually like going to give it to clients as gifts, like especially when they come to Pittsburgh and stuff like that, because it has the Pittsburgh allure. So
that's actually a great topic. What do you guys do for client gifts?
I was just going to say the same thing, Dirk. So Reid, go for it, baby.
I mean, it all depends on who the who the seller is. I mean, we've done really nice. Like we did a Pappy Van Winkle. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We've done that because my business partner Cody's deep into that. I mean, he knows the difference between $100 bottle and a $30,000 bottle, which I can't believe that there's actually $30,000 bottles of whiskey out there or bourbon. We've done that. We've done recently. We've been doing it's like a leather wrapped set of glasses.
You were mentioning that when we were at NMHC. I think you were talking about
Justin mentioned that actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've done that a couple times since.
Does it have a logo or anything like?
Yeah, it has their initials. It has their initials beaten into the leather or whatever it's called. What else? I mean, really nice bottles of wine. John McDermott told us a story back in the day when somebody had closed a deal and the broker sent the client a bottle, like a case of Mums, which is like $10 champagne. And then the client said, "Hey, next time we close something, don't even bother sending me a gift." So I mean, you have to know what the other side wants. I mean, one guy we closed the deal with, I knew there's a really nice spa up here in Wisconsin called Kohler Spas. It's after the Kohler faucets.
Isn't that don't they have some golf courses up there too?
They have like 3 fantastic golf courses up there.
Yeah.
So we got his wife we knew she was kind of controlling everything, so we got his wife a $1,000 gift card for a spa day or whatever, and he just loved that.
So the best ones are ones that are like tailored or thoughtful to that client.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's tough to do that, man. It's tough. I mean, we haven't been really that great about doing it, but
Dirk, I tell you, I give you a lot of credit because you made me really think about it. Like, so, and I think we mentioned this on the last after. So Dirk was my coach, right? And Reid was your coach, right?
Yeah.
Too? Yeah. Like, so I always think like I want there to be a gift that the client wants to put up in their office. Right. So that's the way I try to think about it. And I know, Dirk, you do a lot like where you'll do an experience and then take a photo from the experience to kind of put up in there. But like the recent thing I did, like there was a group from Indianapolis that came into Pittsburgh. And it was the first time in there. So we got the footballs made with the Steelers and the Colts logo, and it says "Welcome to the Berg," and then it had a picture of the building that they bought. And then we put it in a little glass case, right? And like now they put that up in their office, and it's like there.
That's awesome.
And then it was funny because like that became a thing around the company, and one person I just forgot like who was all on the deal team on their side. So they like said, so then I actually made even a funnier football, and like we're sending it to them. So they haven't gotten it yet. They'll actually probably get it when this thing comes out, and like we're sending that over. So like we try to do fun stuff like that.
Which reminds me, I don't want to forget because I want to talk about this first, but an idea I had about a client experience. But I think like a couple that we've done that were really cool were I've gotten a couple clients, like they have a Henry Golden Boy. It's a lever action rifle, but it's like it's brass, but it looks gold plated, and you get their logo etched on it. And so, so they want to. I mean, it's something. I mean, it's definitely a wall hanger. I mean, you don't want to go. It's not a very expensive rifle, but it looks really cool and looks really kind of expensive. And especially if the company has a logo that fits it. Like I have one that has like elk antlers, and you put it on right on that rifle. It looked really cool.
So last time we tried to get, I think your Old Faction mix as the sponsor. So when this, podcast goes double platinum, anybody who wants to sponsor some client gifts, just give us a call, guys.
There you go. Good idea.
So
double platinum in real estate or commercial real estate is what, like 300 people?
Hey, Mr. Bennett, who is the 11th most followed person on LinkedIn in all of commercial real estate. I don't want to hear that. So.
But he was last year was 9.
Yeah. It was 6 to 12. I lost ground.
6? That's pretty dang good. You're good. I give it to you.
It's all vanity metrics, man. It's all vanity metrics.
I give it to you though. You
all
think you get
clickbait.
stuff on there. But so here's this idea I had. I brought it to my partner recently, and I said, "What if we took 5%? And it sounds like a lot, but 5% of every fee that we took and we put aside, and said it goes towards one client gifts, which we already do 1% that we put aside towards like client gifts. But then if you did 5%, and once a year you did just like an ultimate client experience, like where it was, like a vacation somewhere, and your client could bring their spouse, and say it was a trip to Cabo San Lucas, or up in the Colorado mountains, and you do, where you get just a bunch of your clients together, and maybe you spend a few hours one day where you get them all together and they can talk, network, best practices. So it's also kind of business beneficial for them. But then you spend a few days having fun, right? To where your clients, when they go on that, and then it's a nice trip, first class all the way. And then when they go on it, they talk about it and they're like, I want to go on that trip. Like, I want to go on that trip Brian's team puts on every year, where it becomes kind of a thing, And if you think about it, 5%, yeah, it's a lot, but really in the grand scheme of things, is 5% of your fees that big of a deal if it can lead to other business? What do you guys think about that? Because 5%, that's a lot of money. You're talking, like well over $100,000.
I think the good brokers do
people.
that. Yeah, Dirk. I've talked to a lot of brokers who do it. Like, will spend $200,000 a year on client experiences, right?
I've known a couple that did like one event, but I haven't heard of anybody doing like one big event where people are like, man, I want to be a part of that.
I know a few who do, and it's funny because I think what you said, it's almost like they compete to get on that trip, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, hey, I'm going to do it for my top 10 clients. And it's like, it's almost like a competition to be one in that top 10 clients. It's like, let's get them some deals so that they're in the top 10 and I get invited to it. It's like, it's kind of creating that mentality.
I think it's
so yeah, I love it. Yeah. Maybe we do it, guys. Like what would like, we just pull this together and go do it together.
I think you can, especially if you had multiple people that did it too, that'd be even better, because it's kind of cross-pollinating and
yeah. And they could be a guest on the Apartment After Hours podcast. What an ultimate gift that would be.
That should be the only gift, I think.
We host one while we're there.
We're coming to you live.
That's it.
After hours, and after a lot of wine and bourbon.
You host one while you're there. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept to do like the ultimate experience.
And it's fun.
But if you're talking 10 clients though, if I take my top 10 clients, there's no way I'm going to find one thing that they will all, be interested in doing. You're also talking about, people in their 30s all the way up to their 80s.
I think you could find some stuff, like if you go to a lodge, right, that has a spa, shooting, and golf, right, like, or something along that has like multiple activities.
Yeah.
Then you can like.
What's that?
Kiowa Island. That's when didn't you go with your team recently there, Brian, or was that somewhere else?
No, we just took the team down to Myrtle. I didn't say yeah, but yeah,
Kiowa
like
Island,
Kiowa. Yeah, or what is it in Missouri? They got the Paynes Valley, like that whole resort. I think it's like Big Cedar Lodge or Big. There's one.
There.
Yeah. So I think like
really cool.
Things like that, like, because you can go four-wheeling, you can go fishing, you can go hunting, you can go shooting, you can play golf, or you could just hang out at the spa and just see beautiful scenery. Like, what do you want to do, right?
Yeah.
No, that's actually a good idea. That's
a great idea.
So I might use that one for our next.
Maybe we'll edit that out. We don't want anybody to steal it. So.
That's just leave just the name of it.
My brother has a place on that lake, so I can go there anytime.
Oh, really?
Table Rock. It's Big Cedar's owned by the Bass Pro family, or people that own it. And
that's right.
It's a big lodge. And it's really cool. They have a restaurant called Top of the Rock, and it's on basically the top of this big like rock mountain thing, and it's beautiful views, sunset.
Wait. The Top of the Rock is on the top of a rock. I don't understand. Can you explain that again?
Top of the Rock is on Table Rock Lake.
Oh, got it. Okay, all right.
but it's a really nice steak restaurant with this huge patio and beautiful views over the lake. It's really a pretty venue. It's a huge resort. I mean, you got to take a bus just to get around the resort. It's big.
What's the most fun thing you've ever done with a client?
Then helicopter hog hunting, then skydiving. I rented a yacht and went out with a client. But that's my thing. That's why
Helicopter hog hunting. I mean,
I'm not even trying to compete with that right
Nope.
now. I'm not.
Nope.
No.
You know what's funny is after Massimo Con 1, when I talked about that, I had so many people come up to me and they're like, I didn't even know that you could do that. I was like, where do you live? They're like, New York. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, Dirk, I didn't know you could go helicopter hog hunting either. Reid, I don't know how much
Never heard
hog
of
hunting
it.
there is in
Never heard of it.
They do it all over Texas. You get up in a helicopter and they fly you around these fields where there's just, and the reality is these hogs are, I mean, they're like rodents. I mean, they're overpopulated. They're tearing, properties up. And so they take you up there and just go at it.
Well, I guess we can give up PETA being a sponsor of this podcast. So
I wouldn't want them to sponsor. You'll probably edit that out.
What about you, Reid?
I mean, we've just done like quick day trips. I mean, we're doing a Thursday actually this week where there are a couple places out here that are really cool clay hunting, like world class, or clay shooting. Where they have like 18 different stations. You walk around, with your client, and that's been a pretty...
I like how you said clay hunting. I was going to ask, I was like, I mean, is like, are clays like overpopulated in your area?
Yeah, clays are overpopulated at these two places. Yeah, they made way too many of them, so we have to get rid of them.
We've thought about actually doing like a charity tournament, a clay pigeon tournament like that.
Yeah.
But then inviting a bunch of clients, like they don't have to pay, but you invite other people too, and so it's a mixture of, one, a benefit like a charity thing, two, client event, and three, I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's something that would be kind of cool to do.
Well, there's somebody that I should mention on this, and that's Tim Reitman. Tim Reitman was the wide receiver for the '85 Bears. And he has a ranch in Idaho, and we kind of beta tested he has a beautiful lodge set up on his ranch. He has like 400 acres. I think it's called Lazy Bear Ranch, and he has a private chef. He has sleeping quarters for, I think, like 15, really nice rooms. And he actually, we flew into Idaho. He picked us up, and then he also flew in Jim McMahon, quarterback from the '85 Bears, for those that don't remember. But so he has this experience, and it's sitting there in this ranch. And we just hung out with Jim McMahon and Tim Reitman, 5 of us, cool, for the entire weekend.
Stuff like that's cool. Like, I mean, and it's different. It's unique. It's something
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Never forget it. So I mean, something like that.
The more you can do that's unique, and it's an experience. I think that's the best thing you can do with clients. And what I get at it, it's fun too. Like, I mean, like if you look at it, like if you would enjoy doing it and you could bring a client along, why would you not?
Exactly.
You write it off on your taxes.
It's like tough. I think like some people find it tough to do in a down cycle, right? Like we're not in the most great, but it's probably even more important in those down cycles to continue that client, not only the advisory work that we're trying to help them, but also keeping that relationships going. It's probably even more important than it's probably the hardest times to do, because then you come out of it into a positive experience. So.
Well, then maybe you adjust it. Instead of doing, a $5,000 event, you do a $2,000 activity kind of thing. I mean,
no. I'm coming to your event and I'm ordering the Pappy. Like, I got this.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I like if you like even kind of dumb it down to the Top Golf. Top Golf is a pretty good, where you rent out the whole bay, a few bays. Everybody's kind of standing there. You don't have to be a good golfer. The other thing with golf is you're only sitting there with 4 people, right, in a round. Maybe you can do 8, but then the people behind, you're not talking to them for all 18. You're only talking to them at the turn and at the end. And plus, a lot of people don't like golf, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to figure. It's like maybe that's a good position for somebody to figure out all of these experiences, because then it becomes a whole, who are you going to have coordinate everybody?
Make a business out of it, client experiences, and you just take what I want to do eventually is I want a Monarch ranch. Monarch investment properties, like Bob's Ranch is the coolest freaking guy ranch you could ever go to. And and he sends clients there, vendors, investors. So I'm just assuming it's a tax deductible thing. It's a write-off the business expense, but it is the coolest ranch, and you go there and just hang out and have a lot of fun. And it's in Colorado. So he's got like a bunch of dirt bikes, like really nice dirt bikes, KTM's, and all kinds of other stuff. I don't want to talk about his business too much, but it's a cool ranch that is like, the only reason I'm saying is I want something like that. You can take clients to, and then you're not even have to worry about going to trips, planning this. You're like, hey, come over to the Double D Ranch.
The Double D.
Yeah.
I love it.
You might get some interesting looks if you want to name it that. I'm just saying.
I think there's a Double D Ranch in Chicago.
Yeah. Downtown.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a building that has no windows.
Right.
Yeah. I just, as a funny story, since this is the after hours segment, we were in a staff meeting this morning, and our head of operations, you ever say something and you don't necessarily realize the meaning of what you said because maybe it just slips into your vernacular. And this morning we were talking about AI, right? And like the proliferation of AI and how you need to check it when you use it. Like you shouldn't just take it. And his statement at the staff meeting was, if you use AI to do an email, don't just raw dog it. And and he said it deadpan, and like 10 of us just lost it. And then you could realize that the other 20 people in the room had no idea what it meant, and that was made it even funnier. But yeah, anyways, a little light is like, so yeah, you just got to be careful about raw dogging it.
Yeah.
And to the
Double D Ranch.
Yeah. There's no raw dogging at the Double D Ranch.
I would disagree, but okay.
I would disagree.
Well, we just lost our kid-friendly rating on this show. So.
There you go, and that's a wrap. or not a wrap.
Yeah. About 30 people out there are googling raw dogging right now. So
well, that's like the newest term that people are using on flights right now.
Yes.
Dumbest thing ever, right?
Have you heard about this, Dirk?
No book, no phone, no internet, no computer,
no bathroom breaks.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yes. So you sit in your seat. You sit in your seat. And you just stare straight ahead.
Yeah.
And you don't leave your seat.
It's called raw dogging the flight.
Why?
Yeah, it's like planking back in the day, or when they were like, it's just like.
I mean, is it supposed to be like you're meditating, being with yourself, or is it like so you can talk to other people and you're not stuck in your world, or what? I mean, what's the point?
No, it just became like a social media trend called raw dogging the flight. Yeah. I had the same. My buddy told me about it. I had the same. I'm like, why?
Yeah, like.
I think it's because people are they get on. I mean, I do it myself. I just get on the computer. I'm on the computer the whole entire flight. I don't know.
I hate flying unless I'm in first class. I hate flying. Like I hate being crammed in there and stuck and hot. There's no air on you, so I can imagine sitting there. Like the way I get over it, if I'm not in first class, the way I get over it is I put my AirPods in and get on my phone or my iPad or something and just stay busy to where I'm like not thinking about how miserable this feels.
Right.
I love flying. It's like the one time I intentionally check out.
Yeah.
But
Like I'll listen to music or read.
like you actually pilot. That's the difference.
Well, I'm sorry. I love flying I love flying like the small planes. Like that is just I love that from the tech. But flying like commercial was like the one time, like especially like a 3 or 4 hour flight. Like I think like we're so connected to media nowadays. It's like that's the one time like I'll intentionally turn everything off and just read a book or just listen to music and not have my phone dinging 1,000 times. So I actually enjoy it. So, but yeah, I do love flying. Like actually piloting the plane is a blast. So.
I like everybody's all, everybody loves Southwest because they're, that you can get a lot of points and they're cheap. And I'm like, I can't stand Southwest because there's no options. Like, I mean, it's first come, first serve, but if you're not,
they're going away with that,
yes.
Dirk.
Yeah, they are.
But what's really funny, okay, so they're going away with that. But do you remember, and I forget the guy's name, that was the CEO that pulled them out of bankruptcy? He wrote a book, and I read it a long time ago, and I can't remember his name. But one of the big things he did to get them out of bankruptcy and make them profitable was convert them from a traditional airline that does assigned seating like that, and he made it to where it was unassigned seating. That way, people would get in line and get on the plane quickly so they could get out. And the whole thing is he turned it to where, instead, I'm making this number up, but let's say instead of being able to do 20 trips a day, that same plane could do 25 trips a day because they weren't stuck at the whatever the terminal because people were getting on fast. Now they're out of bankruptcy, they're doing well, and they go away from what brought them out of bankruptcy. To me, it's just kind of funny. I'm not saying they're going to do.
But didn't they start losing revenue? I thought they started losing revenue, and that's why they were going away from that model.
I don't know, but I just think it's funny that that's what got them out of bankruptcy and made them successful, and they're going away from that.
Might be the thing that takes them down. Yeah.
Interesting. Hey, we talk a lot about on this on Apartment After Hours. It's not just apartments, ladies and gentlemen.
It's everything.
It's the Double D Ranch. It's raw dogging. It's Southwest bankruptcy. It's
made me think of something a minute ago. Now I forgot what it was. Take another sip. Is this the part?
We'll edit this part out.
The dead air. That's what you call dead air.
Guys, this is completely unscripted, just so you know, because we all just stared at each other like, okay, what are we going to talk about next? That's literally what just happened. So, yeah, we'll edit the long pause out and we'll stare at each other.
I think you leave the rest in though, because that was kind of funny.
Yeah, absolutely. The rest of it's hilarious. So we got to start working in more movie quotes and stuff like that. We're still getting our rhythm here. It's all good.
It's new.
Yeah,
we're all amateurs. Reid's not an amateur. He's a social media pro, but Brian and I are still amateurs. Hey, so speaking of, and this isn't social media. I don't know what made me think of this. So I'm thinking about going to Rod's book launch thing with Bob and Ryan
in New York.
Yeah.
That's next week, right?
Yeah, it's
the 20th.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, 20th.
Okay.
And so with my coach, we've set a goal that I need to. I want to go to a different city every month and meet with clients, right? Because I used to do that all the time. Hadn't done that in a long time, so it's part of my goals. And so New York City and LA are two top cities where owners are at, and so I was planning on going to New York or LA in May, but then when that popped up, I saw it and I was like, if I could set up several meetings, like I'm not going to fly there just for that book launch thing and the training thing, but if I could set it up where I have several meetings to go to and hit that, maybe it'd be worthwhile.
Of course.
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was interesting. I mean, obviously, in like we know the Mossimo Continks were all three coaches, but it's just, I think anything you go to stuff like that, anything you can pull away, take away, you look for one nugget. If you get one nugget, it's worth it. And with Bob sharing stuff and with Sirhan sharing stuff, I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of interesting. So I'm what I'm doing today and then tomorrow, the next 2 days, is trying to set some meetings on that day because it's less lead time than I planned. I planned on saying, hey, 4 weeks from now, essentially, I'm coming to your market. Let's meet. This is 2 weeks from now, but I think I should be able to set some.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that, Dirk. So I started doing more segmenting in my CRM around that, like just knowing. Like, I mean, we know it, but like I actually make it intentional. So it's like I'm going to New York, like, and I'll filter everybody, not where their offices are, but like right where, and because like nowadays, like, you know, people are located all across the country, their acquisitions. So I'll go in and like in New York, and even if it's a week out, I'll try to schedule 15 meetings. And it's funny when I go there because you're so focused, right? Like I'm here for 48 hours. I'm going to book as many meetings as I can in that 48 hours. So I do that to New York or DC or Philadelphia, Chicago, you know, Indianapolis has actually got a big presence in our market as well too. So same thing. I think it's great. And every time I do it, I get more business, right? Like, I mean, it's like those 48 hours that I do, more business comes from it than 2 weeks of
if
work.
you're going to meet a client in their home, you know, in their office, that shows a lot of initiative. That's why. So at Capstone, you know, we used to have a policy that if you went to a different market other than yours and you brought another Capstone broker with you, so say you're, we're both colliers. So let's say, you know, I'm in Oklahoma City, you're in Pittsburgh, and I say, hey, I'm going to New York. Brian, you want to go meet with me and let's set up some meetings? And you came with me. The company paid for the trip. That's a great idea. I don't know why more companies didn't do it, because we used to do that all the time. We would, we would coordinate trips. Like if we're going to go somewhere, call another broker up. Hey, I'm going to this city. You want to go with me and set up some meetings? I mean, business always comes from that. Why would you not
David,
incentivize that?
Is this your way of asking me to New York City with you?
You can.
I actually was thinking, let me know if you actually are going to go, because we can chat, and we can definitely do that.
2 days if I'm going to do it or
not. Okay.
Because I mean,
the only thing is the day after is my birthday, so I expect you to bake me a cake.
Yeah. What makes it hard is I can't remember if it was the day of. There was like a meeting I was really supposed to attend that was an in-person deal it's a group meeting, and I'm trying to work around. Anyways, I'll let you know the next day or two.
No, it's definitely the thing that you need to do. I mean, I do that because we have national conferences, you know, in a different city every year, just with our firm, and every time we go to a different town, that's exactly what I do. I scrub the database, see who's sitting there. I mean, last time, actually a couple of years ago, it was in Austin, and we, you know, actually met the owner that just moved from Chicago to Austin, you know, months before. We met him down there at our Austin conference. And it was great because he came and pulled up, and then everybody else, like I'm walking out there and people are like talking to me about, you know, deals, and hey, the multifamily breakout was fantastic. And while I'm sitting there in front of him, we did the same thing in Miami, where we invited a client who lived in Miami to come to our Miami conference at Eden Rock, right? And so I wish I could take credit for how this panned out, but I mean, we met him on the beach for lunch there, for drinks on the beach, and maybe an hour later we had the company thing that got, you know, it was a big event that they rented out the whole space outside with there was a Cuban cigar roller, and our client happened to be Cuban, and I'm introducing him to everybody, and he's like, wow, he's like, you know,
everyone.
Yeah. So I mean,
hey Reid, at that conference, do you remember the broker that won Rookie of the Year?
Was that you?
It was named Brian McCann.
Come on, that was
really?
Was it really?
Yeah, it was at that Miami conference.
No way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That was a good conference.
Yeah, I was just, when you said that, I was like, I actually remember that conference from that. Yeah.
Reid's thinking in his mind, are you really that young?
Right. I was in the business 15 years by the time that conference.
Hey man, I started late. That's when I retired from being a Fed.
That's right.
Decided, yeah.
How long were you at the FBI?
11 years. 11 and a half years. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you have to use the conference. You have to use your travel. I mean, I can't do that when I go on a family vacation. My wife would kill me if I set up.
Right. I mean, if I go, if I go like anywhere out of state, I try to see like who's in
Yep.
that market. I mean, look, in case the IRS is watching, worst case, you can write the trip off because you're having a
I was
big.
just gonna say, I was like, what
Right.
was the primary purpose was, of course, to meet with the client.
100%. It always is. They didn't
But
show
Always.
up. They didn't show up.
You know, if you're there, I mean, if you go out of town for whatever a trip and you can end up seeing a client or so, like that's it. I mean, like I said, the more you can be at their office and go to them,
100%.
the better. I mean,
100%.
that's right. There's many a times we go to pitch a deal, like especially if it's a bigger deal, and we fly to them to do it rather than doing a Zoom, and it goes so far.
Have you guys ever tried on a pitch? I've tried this once, where you hand out iPads and you get to control their iPad so that the presentation is all the same on the iPads and you control it.
Sounds cool though.
I have not done
Yeah,
that.
like so you actually can see, so you, because you know what, if you hand the book out, right, or send it, they all flip to the back.
Yeah, pricing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you can control like kind of where the slides go and stuff like that. So I've seen that before. I don't know if I don't know. I was toying around with that idea of like changing around how to do some pitches and stuff like that and kind of control it. But I just didn't know if you guys had tried it.
It's just like, have you ever seen CoStar used to do this? Have the digital books where you open it up and a video would play. And
Yes.
I thought that. Well, and what's his name?
Matt McGregor.
Matt McGregor. Right? Yeah, he just emailed.
Yeah.
He does that, and I'm like, that's such a great idea. And
yeah,
it's something that just makes you stand out. I'll tell you, there was something. So I never really even talked about this, but when I very first got into when I got out of the management side and I first got into brokerage, I worked for Coldwell Banker Commercial for like 2 years, and not one thing. There's many things I learned there, but one of the things that I remember from there, they used to do these big. It was place cards, so it was like a big piece of paper, and I don't remember the dimensions, but it was a
placemat.
Yeah,
like we used to call it this. Yeah, placemat. Yeah,
and it would have different, like instead of flipping through pages, it would have like the pages on the thing, and then you have whatever on the back side, it would be flipping like that'd be where the value is, for example. And so they're looking at the front side, and it looked really cool. I kind of thought about sometimes like, what if you go back to old school? Get away from digital. If you're in an in-person meeting, you go back to old school because everybody else is trying to be digital and cool. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be as good. The iPad idea is pretty cool.
I know. I tried interpretive dance one time. It didn't work out very well, though.
Well, they already have the chairs. There's always a chair in interpretive dance. Well, the only problem that if you're not controlling it is just where they can flip it over, and
Yeah.
I've had people just flip through.
iPad thing's a good idea.
Yeah, I like the iPad thing. I mean, if you can do I still like the conference room when you can control it up on the screen where everybody's looking in the same direction. You can all kind of talk about it, but I don't know. I even like Zoom. I know everybody says in person's the best, but Zoom, I mean, we can Zoom, totally control that.
Yeah, you completely control it. That's the best part about Zoom.
It's just you don't have the
in-person interaction.
Physical in-person interaction. Yeah, I agree.
But you completely control what they see, what they hear. And I mean, and you can have a cheat sheet of notes right here in front of you. You can be reading. I mean, it's the best control thing, but it's just not as it's not the same as far as in-person experience.
Yep.
And it made me think of another thing, and now I'm forgetting what it was.
I wanted to talk about Listing Launcher, but we're at the hour. But because I'm gonna try it.
Well, so I actually put it in my goals with my coach. So, which, by the way, you guys might think it's too. You remember the old Massimo maps? Like it was the Excel worksheet that when you first did. And Brian, I think you may have come in after this, but not the map.
No, I did not the maps that were like the spreadsheet, like the sheet that's on the left and the right.
No, it was the original maps that when you would come in and it was at the end of ramp up. And we came up with 3 success levers that would move your business forward. And then you put those into this maps worksheet that was essentially it's 3 big goals. And then you take those 3 big goals and you break them down into actionable steps. And I'd kind of forgot about it. I hadn't seen it in a long time, but my coach brought it up and was like, hey, I know this, we don't usually use this worksheet anymore. Well, let's put your goals in here. And so that's what I've done. And I really like it because it breaks your goals down. The whole point of all that was part of my goals under presence was doing this CRE launcher. And I'm like, I gotta get it going. And it's not that I want to prospect to my main prospects, right? Like I don't want to inundate them
The
with
outliers,
emails.
right?
Exactly.
So-
It's the ones that I don't normally call at all.
So why don't we do this, guys? Since I think this is a goal of all of ours, right? And we can edit this. Why don't we make it a goal to work together so we got a month before our next after hours, and let's work together during that month, get it up and running. We can test it with each other so that we know it's not, before we launch live, and then we can talk about that on the next after hours.
Here's what we should do. Is one, have Seth send out an email. Let's get a date. And you better edit this out. As much as I
We're not going to raw dog this, are we?
don't want to invite him, let's have Connor join a call with us and walk us through it. Because I mean, if we all sit there, we're all going to look at it and be like, okay, how do I make this work?
I mean, I don't think we have to walk through the whole thing. I mean, we need to walk through it together on another deal. I have the deal. We just listed it. I'm gonna utilize it.
And we're launching.
Let's try that first. Then.
Yeah, Reid, we're launching a $68 million deal, and I really want to use it for that. And so, like, we're gonna do it in 3 weeks. So I'd love to get it up and running and kind of the same way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we'll edit it. And David, I want to talk to you about Monarch as well too. We're working a deal there, so we could
just hit stop recorder unless you wanted to say.
Well, yeah. All right, yeah. So, trying to think of a good way to wrap this up so that edit it, but yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, it's good. I think we covered a lot, from client gifts to the Double D Raw Dog Ranch to retrades to different things in earnest money. So looking forward to the next one. And we'll be a month from now and we'll kind of get it launched out. So here we are, Brian McCann, Reid Bennett, David Dirkschneider signing off.
And if anybody wants to join us, it'd be kind of fun to bring on every once in a while a different guest, just hop on and ask questions or be part of it.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys all next time.
See ya.